guys, this is Bella here and welcome back to the channel. When I tell you, I'm itching, y'all. I'm so excited because today's video, how are we doing today, guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today's video, we're going to be talking about Seint. Again, you guys really love it when I talk about this one as well. And again, I personally love it because Seint is a terrible company in my opinion. I did actually create, if you guys are brand new here, have no idea, I actually did create a Seint deep dive talking about every single aspect of the company, so that way if you were curious about it or if you were googling it because you're like wondering if it's a scam, spoiler alert, absolutely, but nonetheless, definitely go check. I'll have it pop up over here so you guys can see. But nonetheless though, today's video we're going to be reacting to a training. I accidentally came across this. And I'm not kidding, I don't like doing this, but I was so like, I was itching to know what was in this training, right? Because this individual does not like my ass. But I was like, what's in here? I literally clicked a random spot in the video and I was like, and I can't wait. So anyways, before we hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so that you'll be notified of every single video I post. Now without further ado, let's hop into this Anti-MLM Reacts video. Let's go. So this training is called a recruiting training. Now again, Seint is a multi-level marketing company. Seint, in my opinion, is a multi-level marketing company being run as a pyramid scheme. Since this is a very public training, we're gonna react to it. So let's fucking go.
I'm pumped you guys are here. I actually just kind of realized that I have not done this training that I have had notes on for my team since ever. Actually, the last time I did it to where you guys would have had access was when I did it for Kat on Team Icon, which I've kind of pointed a lot of you to go watch.
Okay, so there's going to be, real quickly, because I know this might get a little confusing, there's going to be a couple of terms that I'll throw out here. Kat Fairchild is a very, very top leader. She's very close, from what I can tell, besties with Kara, the CEO. No wonder she's at the top. Anyways, then she named off Kat's team name. Everyone has team names. I think Ryan actually has Team Freedom, something like that, or I keep forgetting. But nonetheless, you're gonna hear stuff like that pop up, and I'll be able to talk to you guys about it a little bit more. But anyways, let's keep going.
And at the beginning of that call, I'm like talking about myself and my story, and I'm like, yeah, I just got started really in January and I have 55 teamies. 55! I was so excited. Everybody's like, wow, how did you do it? Like, it was so impressive. I went from 9 to 55 in like 2 months or whatever it was. They were like, that's insane. No, I'm like, we have 1,055 today.
So this is 6 months ago that she has 1,055. I already know that's gotta be way bigger now, especially if you have people underneath you recruiting pretty much for you. Also, one other thing that I do want to let you guys know, this individual and one of her best friends is in Seint, they actually used to be part of LuLaRoe. They got out before a lot of the major issues happened. If you guys don't know, LuLaRoe was that leggings company that Amazon had a series on them. It was definitely a horrible, in my opinion, a fucking pyramid scheme. They had major losses, insane amounts of issues, but they were in previously. And after that, I believe, was when they actually got into Seint. She got in first and then she invited her best friend. So she has previous network marketing experience, mind you. Just keep that in mind.
Like mind. Yeah, for sure, Taylor. That's just the motto. Just push some buttons, see what happens. We're going to go. So today we're going to talk about recruiting. And I know a lot of people instantly go like, ew, recruiting. I don't like that word. Like, that's a yucky word, right? But it's not. That's the first issue that we have, is that in our brains, we go, oh, recruiting is a bad word. We don't say recruiting. That's yuck. We're sharing the opportunity and we're doing the things. We think we can't even say recruiting. But I challenge you this. If you were an 18-year-old boy, and you are, we'll say 17. I don't know the age. 17 and you're in high school, right? And you play football. What are you hoping is going to show up at your game as a senior? Recruiters for college.
Okay, Ryan, Honey Bunch, I think we should have a little bit more common sense to know the difference between a recruiter for a college versus somebody recruiting you into a company that literally is factually proven to not do you well in the slightest. We literally covered that in my deep dive, where according to the Canadian, which they very clearly state in the fine print, the Canadian income disclosure statement really similarly mimics the United States one. Now, they don't have a set in stone one. However, we can easily infer from the updated Canadian one, it was $600 to $600 a year was the average to get money-wise. So there's that. I'm going to compare this to an actual opportunity.
Opportunity presenters, or are they just called recruiters? And what do you want to have happen to you? You want to get recruited. That's the terminology. It's literally the best thing that could happen to you as a 17-year-old who lives, eats, breathes, and sleeps football, is getting recruited, because that means that you're special enough and talented enough and good enough for them to want you to come play for their team.
No, again, Ryan, but was that determined by how many people he recruited? No. A football player in college, his success on the team does not depend how many other football players he recruits. That's the difference. There's no dependency on actual recruitment in order to be successful in a football team, whereas with an MLM and Seint, as we actually have physically proven with their compensation plan and every single thing that we can find on their own website, is there is a major dependency on recruitment in order to even hit the second and every other rank above to even make any form of paychecks.
I'm looking at somebody, and I'm probably going to say the names Lindsay, Amanda, Kate, Christina, Jennifer, and Taylor, because they're the people I can see at the top of my screen. So those are the names I'm going to go to. So say that I am looking at Jennifer and I'm like, I want her to come play for my team. I see enough in her that I want to recruit her. I want to put all my love on her. So she'd be like, okay, I'll come play for your team. That's what we're doing. So step number one is getting out of that mindset that like recruiting is a bad, nasty, yucky thing. Yes, a lot of people feel that way because of the stigma around direct sales. But if you feel that way, they're going to feel that way. So if you can switch your mindset, it's going to help you. No, thank you. Offer me popcorn. Okay. So here's the second thing, you guys. If you are serious about this business, if you are serious about this not just being a hobby or a side gig, if you want this to be your career, you have to recruit.
That deserves a fucking slow clap, Brian. I'm just saying, this is probably the one time I am going to give you credit for this. And I will actually 100% agree with you and be deeply thankful and grateful for you that you ever spoke up about this. Bravo, Ryan. Way to just fucking expose my point clearly. When I talk about, and I've always talked about this, if you ever want to make actual money, and I stated this in my deep dive, I said if you ever want to make actual money in this company, mind you, in any multi-level marketing company, but in this company specifically, you have got to recruit, because you're not even able to go on most trips without recruitment. You're not able to hit any other levels of income at all, really, without any major recruitment. You can't even rank up, no nothing. You can't do shit without recruitment. And here we go. Miss Ryan herself is literally saying in a training, if you want to take this seriously, you have to recruit. You have to recruit. There's no other way. That's literally the problem. That is the biggest fucking issue. And here, this is why I really want to show this to you, because they promote this as a business opportunity, which we have debunked. The final print, the policies and procedures literally says it's not. But then to continue that, if this was actually about sales and a real business, you would not have to recruit. In no way in hell would I need to recruit people to make money. I would just be working in whatever department I was to sell products. If I'm a waitress, is my paycheck depending on how many people I recruit? No. Is 90% or more of your income completely and solely dependent on just bringing people into the opportunity or your company? Or no. That is why we have such a problem with multi-level marketing companies, because the failure rate is excessively high. But the fact that she even says, in order to do well, you have to.
At Fairchild level sales, and you can like really sell your little patukas off. We do have some of those, you know.
which again, we can counter and say that's completely false. Kat Fairchild is literally the top leader in the entire company. I don't think there's anyone bigger than her besides Kara, which she owns the fucking company, for crying out loud. Nonetheless, though, that woman can sit back and not do a damn thing. And actually, if you go and look at Kat Fairchild's Instagram, there's not insane amounts of things about the business, because she is capable now at this point where she can sit back and all of her downline does it for her. She can cash in a check. I mean, she's the one living in California in a mansion on the hill. If we're going to be real here, she has the opportunity to sit back and promote the product specifically for sales because everyone else is recruiting for her. She's the top. She's the top. So anything Ryan, anyone else does under her, she is gaining from that.
Here and there. But that's not the vast majority of who we are here. And if you want this to be a career, but you're not selling into the 40% commission bracket easily every month, it's not going to likely end up being a lucrative career for you.
Oh, so in order to rate the real money, as I said in my deep dive, which you called out, and funny enough, for claiming that I was full of shit. You literally just solidified every point that I made in that deep dive. That there's no way to make any real money, any true money, unless you recruit. Thank you.
You go work for corporate America and have a much safer little place to play and get a guaranteed paycheck. Sales are not guaranteed. So if you want this to be your career,
tell you this is one of the best fucking trainings I have ever reacted to in regards to Seint. Ryan, the one time I'm gonna thank you for shit, this right here. Because when I tell you, this seals the deal, and I hope a bunch of people see this. I hope a bunch of people see it when they Google Seint scam, because this is gonna solidify to them that there are problems. The only way for you to do well is not through sales. You have, as a top leader stated, you have more of a significance and a capability of making a real money and get an actual paycheck if you work a regular 9 to 5. Even though she's the same person posting up on her stories, going all about how great her team is and how amazing this opportunity is. Funny. So again, no other businesses have a sole money maker, a sole purpose in life of recruitment. It's sales. But MLM, specifically Seint, has a sole purpose and a need, a requirement per se, of recruitment.
You're going to have to build a team. And I know a lot of you are like, I want it, but oh my God, I could never do what you do, Ryan, right? Some of you are probably thinking that right now. And I know that because I remember watching Kat and thinking that myself. I'm not a natural born leader. I'm not good at speaking in front of people. I'm not very smart. I'm not very talented. I'm just creative, and that's what I can do. And I'm okay at social media. That was my brain, right? That's how I thought when I got into this. And I learned how to be a leader because people like Kate and Amanda trusted me enough to join my team. And then I had to learn because now I have people depending on me, right? So it is a must. But that's why we're here, right? Most of us are here not to play around. We actually want to make something of this. And the one thing, first things first, don't waste your time. You cannot be that girl that is pushing people to do what they don't want to do, what they don't have it in them to do, what they're not ready to do, what they don't give two shits about. And that's the truth. Some people just don't care like we care, right? Some people might join because all they literally want is a discount on makeup and maybe enough money to buy Starbucks every week without their husband yelling at them for using the bank card. Some people are going to be that way. And if some people are that way, you love them right where they are and you don't try to make them your next artist vibe because they don't care. They don't want to do it. So one big thing we have to do is make sure we're not wasting our time pushing girls who don't have the drive and passion that you do. If they don't have the drive that you have, if they don't have the passion that you have, and they don't have the skills that you have, you can't push them. You can't push them to do it. But you will find people as you're recruiting that are Amanda Shanes that come in and they're like, beat me up. Like, ride my butt, tell me if I'm messing up, point out everything I do wrong, She's like, you don't even have to tell me what I do right. I just want you to tell me what I'm doing wrong so I can do it better, so I can do more. And
it's funny how she says this, because if you're your own business owner, if that's what you're doing, as these individuals have claimed before, we've publicly seen that, why would you ever need even remotely a leader or someone pushing you to do this if your success, again, wasn't dependent, as we previously said? This is so contradictory of what we usually see publicly posted by this individual.
But you're going to have those girls. You're going to get them and you're going to be like, oh, okay, good. Okay, whew. Phew, this is what I was looking for, right? You know the ones, though. You know the girls that show up. They're like, yes, I am here, honey. And then like 2 months later, they still haven't done anything. 3 months later, they still haven't done anything. You're like, hello. It's because it sounds really good. And that's our job. But when we recruit, is to make this sound as great as it is. But just because it sounds really good, a lot of times they're not hearing the part where we're like, it's hard work. I hustle every day. I get upset sometimes. Sometimes nobody buys from me. Blah, 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 blah.
She literally is stating and proving my point when I say that people talk about selling a lifestyle in multi-level marketing and how that's very prominent. She already has clearly stated that recruitment is very important and very heavy, and that's the only way to do well. Then talking about selling a lifestyle, essentially, which I do agree that there is hard work involved with multi-level marketing, but it's not ethical or good work. Blows my mind that these individuals even have and I'm talking about a lot of these top leaders because they are the ones that have such influence on the lower levels and downlines, but the top percent of these individuals have the utmost audacity of calling themselves entrepreneurs. It's called creating something for yourself, creating something new, not joining into a pre-made website and calling yourself a businesswoman, okay? Because there's no businesswoman involved when it comes to that kind of stuff. A real business owner, you're posting on social media, marketing your product or service. You aren't sitting there trying to recruit people. That's your not main goal or focus. Your goal is to hit sales and new levels of sales. You find new products. You create them. You figure out the packaging. You do real work. The only legit hard work that they do, and it's hard, but it's a hard work of focusing on recruitment. In what way is that entrepreneurship or being a business owner?
They don't hear that. They only hear the good stuff. So you got to remember that some people are just going to join and then they're going to be like, you know what, this is not for me. And that's okay. You just love and release them. If they quit, they quit. If they pay their back office fee for 4 years, then that's what they do.
So again, as she just mentioned, this is very important to talk about. However, again, she counters herself and states in a training that there are fees, and that is correct. There are back office fees. $16.95 Canadian, $12.95 USA every single month for back office fees. So there are fees.
But our goal is to recruit 500 for 5. And that sounds crazy. And some of you are like, I don't want to do that. You have to do that. Why? Because we cannot control what other people are going to do with this opportunity. And because we can't control it, we cannot recruit 5 people and then hope and pray and wish that those 5 people are as like-minded as we are and that they're going to take the business and run with it. That's a nice thought. I only want to recruit a couple of really, really hard workers. Well, guess what? Sometimes hard workers have other stuff come up and they don't want to do Seint anymore. And then what? All this time has gone by and you haven't recruited anybody else and you have no backup plan and your structure completely crumbles and falls.
So again, you agree. Seint is dependent on recruitment. And if you have people leaving all that, your paycheck is dependent on that. As you said, everything crumbles. Absolutely. The fact that I have yet to find, I don't think I've ever in my entire career of doing this, and I've done this for nearly 2 years now, I have never in my fucking life on doing this have had someone clearly state every point that I have made in videos. But this is why I want to show you, because somebody as an influence of this individual and who is a top leader and who is recruiting people and is a very familiar face, and I know some people who are clicking on this are going to click because they recognize the face. I want you guys to see how contradictory and how this individual is agreeing with me on most of my points. Her belief is money and making it unethically. My belief is this is the scam and I want to protect people from what she's trying to do. Because up front, she's posting all these fabulous things, again, selling the lifestyle, talking about how amazing it is. Oh, there's no dependency on recruitment. We don't need that. There's an entire training dedicated to literally saying everything that I have been saying, or even sometimes inferencing. She's proving my point to a T. So if you are someone watching and you are someone that is curious about Seint, again, check out my deep dive. I have everything proving my point. But this, please, I really hope you take this as a solidification of you not joining, because it truly is a predatory scheme. When a top leader is contradicting most of her points that are posted on a public platform and posting it on a training on a YouTube channel that has maybe 64 subscribers that she probably didn't expect to get popping up on this channel, there's some problems.
So we have to recruit all the people, get the bodies in the seats, and then weed through and see who's going to do what and who you need to work with. So now that we got our brains right on what recruiting is and how it needs to go, here are my tips for recruiting. 1, share, share, share. And I'm literally going to say everything multiple times if it is that important. Share, share, share. When I say it 3 times, I mean like all the time. I don't mean once a week. I don't mean a couple times a week. I mean legit every day, multiple times a day. And I know I just lost some of you because you're like, I'm not.
We heard that correctly. Hold on, because this is a moment for the mic close up. We heard that clearly. Posting about the business opportunity multiple times a day, every day. So, Ryan, hey girly, because I know you're gonna watch this. What happened to time freedom, and what happened to no dependency on recruitment, and what happened to literally everything you post on your social media every week, contradicting this training? What happened to that? That's funny. So multiple times, constantly. So from this, we can infer that there's a lack of time freedom and a huge obsession with recruitment. And you are literally proving my point of what people are going to have to do. It's not real ethical works.
That girl who's like posting about join my team every 10 minutes. It's gross. It's annoying. This is what I mean. Your job is to share this opportunity on your social media and with the people that you know all the time. All the time. Even if that's just like, oh my God, happy birthday, Kate. Love you so much. So blessed that we're teamies. I wouldn't have known you otherwise. Guess what? That's sharing the opportunity, because it's saying I met somebody through this business that I like enough to actually make a graphic to wish them a happy birthday. It seems small and it seems dumb, but I don't do that for the girls I went to high school with. Hell, I don't even know if it's their birthday because I don't talk to them anymore. Like, I don't know. Those aren't people that I'm spending my everyday with, that I call when I'm upset and all that stuff. Share all the time. You cannot overshare the opportunity. You cannot overshare it. That is everything. There's no way. And I realized this when I realized one of my best friends in the whole world, who is like, the girl that I've done this business with, Jenna, now DeLulio, used to be Taylor. We both joined at the same time. We came up in the business together. And I realized one day that, okay, I have to go seek out her Instagram if I want to see what she's doing. And she's like one of my best friends in the whole world. If I'm not seeing her stuff every time she posts anything on social media, then Sally Sue from Oklahoma, who followed me 3 years ago, probably is not seeing everything I'm posting on my social media every time I post it, right?
I just say, and I think I'm just speaking for the choir at this point, this is fucking nasty. This is weird. You can't share the business opportunity too much. You have to share it all the time, even if it's for somebody's birthday. So this isn't about true, genuine friendships. You will take any situation, milk it to hell, just so you can recruit. What a sad fucking life. And I'm sorry, but you are the same individual that shits on me for trying to expose how problematic and wrong this is. But what you're doing is fine. Yeah, okay, good God.
That's the proof in the pudding that you can't share too much. Because by the time Sally Sue might come to your page on Wednesday, your stories from Monday about why she should join the opportunity have already gone. Goodbye. That is what's great about Instagram stories and Facebook stories, is that they are only for 24 hours. And the likelihood of your whole following seeing every time you post is about like 0.05%. They're just not going to see it. So you've got to flood your content with the opportunity. It is all in how you share. We all know that there are gross ways to share the opportunity. We see those girls. We've gotten those messages. I know we have. We've all posted it in the chats where it's like this fun little realm team game where somebody tries to cold message us and we try to flip the script and get them to join our team instead. That's like the little fun game. I don't know.
You think that's nasty, but what you're recommending is not? Self-awareness is non-existent.
I don't know if everybody does that, but I don't know. My directs be trying to do that. It's like this fun little thing, like, ooh, who can flip the cold collar? Like, watch me get 'em, girl. And we all snap in like, she got that one. But we know that's gross. We all hate it. So that's not what we do. You can reach out. There are ways to reach out and present the opportunity to people that you've developed a relationship with or that you feel might be good at it. But we're not going to cold call people.
Perfect. Wow, this just keeps getting better and better. There are ways. She clearly said there are ways to reach out. So I already know the way that they approach it. How she approaches it is you make friends with someone. That's what a lot of these new MLMers are doing. They are engaging with people's posts, trying to respond to their Instagram stories. They're trying to do that so that way they quote unquote have a friendship and then they talk about it. So it's not directly a cold message of like me reaching out to you if I don't know you. It's slowly making a fake friendship. It's still, in my opinion, a fucking cold message, close enough. They take a little longer to get to the message and they make a fake friendship on top of that so you feel misled. Even better.
And if that is like, for me, I'm not a reacher outer. I hate saying that because in my mind, it sounds like a dirty thing to say. I think something else that's very similar. For some reason, every time I get uncomfortable when I say reaching out, reaching around, reaching outer. But I am not comfortable doing that because I'm shy. I know some of y'all just went, yourself. No, I really am actually quite shy. Like if I see somebody that I went to church with a couple years ago, okay, not a couple years ago, like 15 years ago when I was in high school at the grocery store, I will be like, ooh. Like, I don't know why. I could just be like, hey, Becky. Like, I know Becky knows who I am. I know who Becky is. But I just get so uncomfortable, like talking to people. Like if I saw you guys out and about, I'd be like, oh my God, that's different. But like, I just did it at the post office the other day. I recognized this girl. We went to high school together. And I literally was like, head in my phone, like holding up my bag. I just don't know. I get shy. I don't know what to say. And I know when I did some other companies, when Amy Jo and I lived in Richlands, it's a little country town, like we would go places and people would be like, oh my God, are you Ryan from Instagram? Like people would know who I was sometimes. And my husband would make this whole big joke about it. And like your fans are following you to the Sam's Club. And it was just very uncomfortable for me. But it's all in how you share and how you're sharing your story with the world. So the first thing you want to do is create urgency. And it's not just like, come on, you got to do it right now. You got to do it right now. You're not saying that. You're presenting it in a way that says, listen, I got X amount of spots. Y'all probably seen my Instagram. I did it this month because I don't want, okay, listen, we all want 100 new people to join. But really, when you sit down and think about it, do you really want 100 new directs in 1 month? I mean, do you like really? Because that's a lot of work. You're responsible for all those people. But if you put a number, I've seen people do 15, like the Jordan Gullets. They can say 15. I say like 5 to 7. 7 is a number that is statistically supposed to work the best. I don't know the weird brain math behind it, but try 7, try 3. It's not supposed to be an even number. I did 5. So you're saying, I want 3 new girls to join my team. I have 3 spots, right? Not, I want this. You're saying, I have 3. 1, 2, 3. Here's my graphic with the lines. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Once they're full, it's done. You can't be number 4. I didn't write a 4 on this graphic. There's only 3. We all know if 4 comes along, you're going to be like, oh, I'm opening up more spots. Right? You're not going to be like, no, sorry.
What have I been telling y'all this whole time? Said I was crazy. And I'm literally dying over here. My face is getting red because I have said that. She has agreed with every fucking point I've ever made. Oh my God. I literally said, the graphics are bullshit, you guys. They make this shit up. I'm not kidding. They say, I have 3 spots left. I have 10. And she literally just said, well, we know if another one comes, we're going to take it. See, it's creating FOMO. It's bullshit. It's literally fake. They do that to manipulate you. I'm going to go to bed a happy woman. Oh my God. So here's the deal, you guys. I am getting so excited and emotional, not only because I'm excited I can prove my point in a way of factually and also with another person literally agreeing with me on this that's involved with it. But I'm also so fucking excited because somebody's gonna come across this and this is gonna help them. Somebody is going, or several people are gonna come see this. Every single time I put out a video, I get a message or something that it's done something and it makes me so happy. Somebody's going to see this and know the reality and say, fuck no, I'm not gonna do it. And oh, yes.
Unless you're me and you have like too many already and you have to Amanda Shane somebody. And literally, if y'all don't know the story, I told Amanda I hit my limit. It was like 10 or 15 or something for the month. It's like, I can't take any more this month. And she said, okay, well, I'll see you at 11:59 on the 31st. And I will sign up and I'll be number 1 for next month. And she was. Like, she was like counting down, waiting for me. So create that urgency. It worked. Amanda's here. Look at her go too. Like, she's hustling. She felt the urgency. She's like, oh my God, I got to set a reminder. I got to be first in line because what if she fills up again, right? That's creating that urgency. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. But another really great thing for you guys to do, that's how you were with Megan. Yeah. You're like, I'm sorry, I'm all full. And then if they Amanda Shane you, you know that they're about to show up and work this business. Because that chick is about to wait for 3 weeks just to get on board. She's ready to roll. If you have people do that, girl, you better buckle up. Get ready for them because they're coming in hot. If they're like, nah, it's fine. Then you're like, okay, I don't know. Maybe you'll do okay. But the second thing you want to do is set forth expectation. Yeah, set forth expectations. This is your team. These are the people you want to work with. And I've had this conversation from everybody from a newbie up to a Monica Murphy, where I've said, Monica, you're the interviewer. Like, this is your team. Do you want her to come on board? Like, you have to sit down and think, this is what I want, and then say it. I want people that are hard workers. I want people with experience. I want people that are, like, if you were Jordan, maybe you could say, I want to work with a team of women who are similar to my age. She could say that. If she wanted a team of like 20-year-olds, Jordan could say that. That's her prerogative. I could say I only want 40 plus. I mean, I'm not 40 yet, but I mean, I'm pretty close. Or all blondes or whatever I want. But what you really want to narrow it down to is I want self-starters. I want go-getters. I want people ready to hustle. I want girls that don't want their hand held. I want girls that literally want to start tomorrow and work their way to this top part of this company. Put it out there and say it. It's your team. You're putting the expectation out there for what you want. And guess what? You might lose some people because they might go, ooh, yeah, that's not me. I really wanted her to just kind of just do the work for me. No, honey, I don't want you. Like, sorry. If you lose one of those people because you put out what you actually want and they don't join, 1, you're not going to know. So who cares? And 2, good. You don't want them anyway. They don't tick off your boxes. You don't want them. Next.
Interesting to me, and I understand the concept of wanting like-minded individuals that would want to work with you, but it's very unsettling to see how casual she treats the conversation of a person. Like, oh, next, like moving on. You know how they always talk about, oh, I see potential in you. I know you're capable. What they're really thinking of, oh, okay, if you don't meet my requirements, I don't give a shit. You're just another warm body. As she said, fill up the seats, right? So it kind of just shows that it's not truly considered that important of a person until it provides exactly what she needs from you. It's not a genuine, oh, I know you can do this. It's kind of a, if you can help me, great. If not, thank you, next bye.
Somebody that does. Passion, Monica says. I want somebody with passion. Yes. Somebody that'll literally have to be yelled at to put their phone down. I got some of those. I'm looking at one of her names right there. Starts with an S, ends in a Van Stratton. She's one of those ones. I go, Steph, put your phone down. Quit working for a minute. Let's just talk for a second. But that's what you want. Say it. Put it out there. Somebody is going to read that and be like, oh my God. Oh my God. That's me. That's me. I'm those things. I got joined. This is it. She's speaking to my soul. This is me. Like, there's a list out there. I could see a list. Kat didn't have a list. I just joined. But if Kat had a list, I bet you my qualities would be on there. But I might not be sure of those things. But I'm going to know, like, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, that's me. So you want to set forth your expectations. This one's funny. You guys will like this. Be yourself. In parentheses, I say, I curse, ... If you are my people and you have an old potty mouth and sometimes you just can't help it. And when people like Kelly say, my baby is watching, and you just want, because you know you've already cursed at least 14 times. 14, plus 20 maybe. Listen, you gotta be you. If I were to pretend like I did not cuss ever, and I was just one of those people that said, like Amanda Ernest. Y'all have probably seen Amanda Ernest enough to know she says those cute little phrases like, oh, gee, golly gosh, and oh, hooray, you rang. It's like words that I would never in a million years use, right? If I pretended to use those words and then somebody showed up on one of my training calls and they're like, she just said poop like 14 times and then cuss, like, oh my God, who is this girl? There's been some moments like that where people join other people on our team and then showing up to my calls and they're like, I need to get away from this ride the wild child. If y'all know, y'all know. I don't think anybody's still here from that moment with that person. I think those people are all gone. But just saying, that happened where somebody say, I got to get away from Ride the Wild Child. Like, I don't want to be connected to her because I had a dirty mouth. But if I was putting that out there on social media, like that's how I was and that's how I talked. And like I wore pink all the time and all the things. And then I show up like this with space buns and all black. And yes, my pants are black. I do have a pop of color on, and then I was cursing, I was doing all the things. Then I attracted the whole wrong people. Like, I'm not trying to attract Amanda Ernest people in because they're going to feel uncomfortable with me and I'm going to feel uncomfortable with them. I want my people that feel my vibe and like we Maleficent out all day and like, but we're cool with it because then we can get past all that weird uncomfortable and just get to work. So that's what you want to do when you're being yourself. I said, be brutally you. If you struggle with depression, speak on it. Be brutally yourself. If you have bad skin, be brutally you. Don't try to cover it up and hide it. Use it. I always say a pimple is the best way to sell makeup. I'm just saying. The better my skin gets, the harder it is to sell makeup sometimes. I'm like, I have nothing to cover. This is not magic anymore. But just be brutally yourself. There's this thing. It's 4SW. That's what I call it. Some people, like Katie Martin, she calls it SW. I'm like, why would you just say it?
Let's pause this real quickly. So she's talking about be brutally you, which that is something I always completely agree with, is being completely you. However, we are in a recruitment training. What does that mean in regards to recruitment? Being brutally used so someone can connect. That's the goal, is for someone to connect to you. The issue is now we are getting into waters where we can, push somebody to talk about their depression, but what if they're not comfortable? What if they're insecure? And what if they're struggling with it on their own? Why would you push them to do that in the name of recruitment? Because again, why in the hell would you talk about that if it's not about recruitment? It's just weird to me, because that's actually something I've seen a lot in regards to just any company for that matter, is people are uplines trying to pressure people to talk about that insecurity, talk about what's going on. Don't just show it all in the goals of recruitment. But some people are not physically ready for that, are not ready to handle it. But they're being trained to do that because that will make you the best, or do well, or connect with people better. But that's still very problematic, because it's pushing the being vulnerable to a point of where it's not truly being vulnerable, it's being used for a negative thing. That is really unsettling to me.
Some will, some won't. Here's the best part. So what? Someone is waiting. Best part. A lot of people stop at some will, some won't. Some will, some won't. Oh well. The best part is, so what? Who cares? Yay, this girl's doing it. So what? She's not. Next. Someone else is waiting to take our spot. Somebody is out there. We all know, some of us know, that we feel like, and if you're religious or not, that a lot of the relationships and situations that we've ended up with through this company have been divine in one way or another, whether you're religious or not.
Oh God. Are we doing the religious manipulation again? Fuck, I've reacted to a lot of these, and it's tiring seeing Christians. Sorry, not sorry, but some of these weirdos, I'm a Christian too, but again, using faith manipulation, or be like, oh, some of us think that this was by God. No, Ryan, it was because of your own selfish desires. Get over yourself.
A lot of us feel that way. Things lined up, right? This lined up, so I met her, and now this is happening. This happened, so this could happen. I left the other company when I left for a reason. And this person lined up right. And now my life is like this, A lot of us.
I don't truly believe that, because you filter through people like a fucking Brita filter, for crying out loud. You go through and clear out whatever doesn't work for you. So I don't think it's truly like, oh, it was God's divine timing necessarily. I just think you plowed through enough people and you found someone that was very similar to you. I don't think that was God's plan, girly. And we already know an MLM is not God's will. It's not something that God would be cool with. Having a sole purpose of recruiting people into a predatory scheme is not very godly. Not saying I'm a perfect individual. I'm just saying that's wrong.
And those are the moments where you have to, thank you, Amanda, say, so what? Someone's waiting. Someone's waiting for you. And if you're not presenting the opportunity, they're not going to get a chance.
I am going to stop this video here. I want you guys to stay tuned, because I will be doing the second part of this reactionary video on Monday. So I'm definitely excited for that. So definitely stay tuned. Yeah, what did we learn today? Recruitment is a sole purpose and need. You have to share the business opportunity all the time, 24/7. You can't make real money or have this a career if you don't recruit, no nothing, and all those wonderful things. For this half, we know that 90% of the things that they share publicly are complete lies, but in the trainings, it's a whole different story. So that's very problematic. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, stay tuned. Part 2 is going to be up. I will actually be getting it ready. And for those of you who are watching this at a later time, part 2 is going to be linked in the description below once I actually get part 2 up live. So stay tuned and definitely check that out. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Stay glowing, my beautiful queens. Love you. Bye.